even though this Flash TV show isn't scheduled to air on the CW for a few more weeks, when I found out that I had the chance to watch the pilot episode early, yeah, I couldn't help myself. I had to watch it. I just got done watching the pilot episode. I'm going to do my best to stay away from spoilers for most of the video, but towards the end, I gotta talk about some stuff. I will warn you before I get to that, though. So let's start with how this episode starts. You see Barry Allen, he's narrating, and for anyone that remembers that Barry Allen obviously showed up in Season 2 of Arrow, when he showed up and he told his story about what happened to his mom and sort of the mission that he's on, he just told it. And the way how he described it, the details, it was good for that way, and it helped make our imaginations make up what he could be talking about and what happened. But first episode, right out the gate, we see it. We see him, he's 11 years old, and we see his mom, who seemingly gets killed by this yellow flash of light. It's like this mini tornado in their living room, and it seems like she dies. Barry Allen ends up like away so many feet from the house. His father gets arrested naturally for this crime, and Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, I should probably talk about what I think of him. I already knew that I liked him from when he showed up on Arrow. He's a bit young, or he looks a bit young, but I like the fact that they reference that a little bit and poke fun at him. But I think he's a good actor, and if we're gonna play a young Barry Allen, this guy is good for the job. And I like his backstory, or his upbringing, because what happened to his parents, he was raised by Detective West and his daughter, who they sorta are best friends. But it's pretty obvious that Barry Allen likes her more than that. There's even a moment where he tries to talk to her about it, sort of dance around it. And I can't tell with her. I can't tell. She seems like she just sees him as almost a brother. But I just feel like something is gonna come out of that. And let's talk about the incident. Because this, again, we saw this in one of the Arrow episodes, when the accelerator went off in the lab and that huge ray of light went over the whole city. Barry Allen got hit by lightning, and that's what turned him into the Flash. But I like how it wasn't just like an instant, oh, I have powers now. This kid was in a coma for 9 months. And when he wakes up, he sees that he's being taken care of by this Dr. Harrison Wells, Dr. Caitlin Snow, and this other kid, Cisco Ramon. And Dr. Caitlin Snow, I like her, first of all. Danielle Baker, she's pretty cute. But I liked her little story there about how she lost her husband, her fiance, and she just wrapped herself into this. She sort of lost her career because now this lab has been shut down by the government, saying it's too dangerous for the public, obviously. A lot of people died from this. But I felt for her. The whole scene where Barry says you don't really smile much, and she says she doesn't have much reason to. It's a quick moment, but it's enough to make me get a sense of her character. Now, the villain of this first episode, he's called the Weather Wizard. And clearly he's from the comic books. He was affected by this accident from the labs. And he was simple. There wasn't a whole lot to him. But I did like, I guess, the idea that he was this bank robber type who just happened to get these powers, and now he's going to use these powers to continue doing what he already did. The effects and everything that went into his powers, and even Barry Allen's powers, I thought they were pretty good. Something tells me that since this was an early leaked version of the pilot that I watched, that the effects weren't quite done, but even the way that they were, they look good. I'll watch the first episode once it's out on TV and see if it's any better. Very much enjoyed the scenes of when Barry first realized what he could do and how he was in that alley and running around, crashing into things, not quite understanding or being able to control how fast he can go. And then once he goes, he goes. I do have a favorite moment of the episode. It has to be when Barry Allen is first still trying to figure out what he should do with these powers, if his gut of wanting to stop this bad guy, if that's the right decision. He goes to Starling City and he talks to Arrow. Oliver Queen, Stephen Amell makes his cameo. Very cool, even though I knew that was coming from the trailer. It's almost like it's been a while since I've seen that trailer. So a lot of these moments that are given away in the trailer, I forgot about it. So when Oliver showed up, I was like, oh yeah. And it was very cool. I liked him giving him advice, and even the way he told Barry, like, look, you have a chance to even be better than I am. You can be a hero. You can be an example in your city. You can be like a Flash. And he gave him the name. Obviously, it's going to stick. I like the idea that Green Arrow gave Flash his name. And even when he sees Oliver swing away and says cool, and then when he runs off and Oliver stops and sees that and says cool, like they both think that they're cool. So now I think it's perfect time to get into spoiler talk. I will talk more about certain things that happened in this episode. If you haven't seen the episode, go away now. Clearly you can tell that I enjoyed this episode, but I had to mention that at the end of the episode, after Barry Allen defeats the Weather Wizard, Detective West finds out that Barry is the Flash. It doesn't take more than one episode for him to find out, and that shocked me, surprised me, because usually in shows like this, it takes a while for major characters to find out a secret like this. Now, obviously, he made him promise not to tell his daughter. Harrison Wells, the doctor who's in the wheelchair that was behind the whole lab thing and is responsible for the accident, and he's a part of the team that's with Flash. You see at the end that he can walk. He has a secret lair. He gets up from his wheelchair and he has this whole big secret. And I don't exactly know what it is, and I don't know if he's like a villain or something, but that definitely took me off guard. It surprised me. I don't know what's going to come out of that. There is a detective that just transferred to this city, and I could tell with him and the way how he stopped this mugger from, like, just how quick he was and stuff. I knew there was something to him, or something would happen with him. Of course, I looked online, and he's going to end up being Reverse Flash. He's the guy who killed Barry's mother so many years ago. And that's insanely interesting. I can't wait to see how that plays out, especially since Iris is dating him. So there you go. John Wesley Shipp is casted as Harry Allen, Barry's father. And if you don't know who this guy is, he played the Flash in the original TV series from the 90s. So I thought that was just insanely very awesome. That not only is he playing the father, but the scene that they have when he's in prison and Barry's talking to him on the phone, it's just that heart-wrenching scene. Really worked. So guys, clearly I very much enjoyed this first episode of The Flash. I can't wait till it actually starts on the CW, and the fact that it's going to be at least loosely connected to Arrow. It's not like it's a goofy show or anything, but it definitely has a lot more humor, and I like the fact that this can be in that same universe, but not so dark and serious as well. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you were lucky enough to also see this first episode. What did you think of it? Or let me know if you're interested in seeing the very first episode of The Flash. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!